A wedding. Julia and Marsilius were married while Augustus was in Gaul. It was a typical Roman wedding, held in the atrium of the bride's home, with Julia in a wedding veil of red and woolen girded tied with a knot of Hercules, and Marsilius wore a wreath of flowers on his head. After the proper auspices were taken, the two joined their right hands before a married woman acting as priestess. The sacred cake was offered to Jupiter by the Pontifex Maximus, then shared by the bride and groom. Prayers were said to the goddess of marriage, and a sumptuous wedding feast enjoyed by all the guests. In early evening came the wedding procession. To the music of the flutes and the light of the flaming torches, the young bride was escorted to her future home. She was led by 3 young boys, one ahead, one holding each hand, while others followed her carrying a distaff and spindle. At the door of his house, Marsilius, the bridegroom, was waiting. After Julia had smeared the doorposts with fat and oil, he lifted her over the threshold and carried her into the anteum. On the hearth there were wood laid for a fire. Julia kindled it with her wedding torch, and then put out the torch and threw it to be caught by one of the guests. The next day came another feast, this time in the new home. The feasting was the best part of the whole affair to the young Drusus, who was no more interested in weddings than any other 11-year-old boy. Drusus liked soldiers and excitement, and when not long after Augustus left, word came that there had been an uprising among the Spanish tribes, and his stepfather had gone with the Roman legions into Spain to restore order. There was something after his own heart. And when Tiberius, his own brother, was sent to Spain to have his first experience as a soldier, Drusus wished with all his heart that he too were old enough to go. Instead, he had to stay home with his school books and keep on learning Greek and all the other things his mother said he had to know to be an educated gentleman. In Spain, during the campaign against the Spanish tribes, Augustus became dangerously ill. By the time he had completely recovered, the uprising had been successfully put down and order restored among the rebellious mountain tribes. In 23 BC, at the end of 3 years, Augustus was back home in Rome again, pleased with the new son-in-law of his own choosing and eager to see what buildings had been completed under Agrippa's supervision during the time that he had been away.